All the information out there on manifestation can seem so confusing, right? This person says this one technique is the only one that works. That person says persist, while the other person says you gotta let go. Then there's the law of attraction community versus the law of assumption community. Just robotically affirm. Feel it real. Oh my gosh, who do you listen to? I promise you guys, manifestation does not need to be this complicated. So, as someone who has not only studied manifestation passionately for the past 6+ years, but who has also successfully manifested physical appearance changes such as weight loss with zero dieting, business opportunities and business success, money from unexpected sources, complete healing and recovery from multiple illnesses, and so much more, I'm going to uncomplicate manifestation for you by the end of this video. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, hi, I'm Jessie Riemann. Here are today's video chapters with timestamps. And I would like to, first of all, go ahead and read a recent success story from a client who did my 30-day transformation coaching package to inspire you and show you what is possible in just a very short period of time. Working with Jessie has been a revelation. While I wouldn't go so far as to call myself a skeptic, I wasn't wholly convinced that manifesting actually worked until I experienced it for myself. I was feeling down after a year of eating disorder recovery, where all I really gained was a lot of extra weight, not wanting to return to old behaviors, and realizing how grounded and soothed I felt after watching Jessie's YouTube videos, which, by the way, thank you so much. That's a huge goal of mine, especially being both a Taurus sun and a Taurus midheaven. So I want you guys to feel soothed and grounded. So mission accomplished. Thank you so much. I reached out for her 30-day transformation package. I'm so glad I did. Nothing has brought me as much peace, self-love, and empowerment as Jessie's sessions and affirmations recordings. I'm only just over 30 days in, which is still early days, but already I am sleeping deeply, waking up with a sense of energy and optimism instead of dread, and my self-confidence, self-respect, and self-care have increased enormously. I've also effortlessly released a noticeable amount of overshoot too. And for those of you who don't know, that's an eating disorder recovery term. Basically, it just means she has lost weight with zero dieting and zero extremes. This was the rewiring I'd hoped to gain from recovery, but it's Jessie who helped me 180 my brain. If I could put my hand over my heart right now, I would. To love myself well and whole and divest from the narrative we're all sold that harshness and punishment are the only way. I am staggered at the difference it's made in my life, even in this short time. I am so grateful to you, Jessie. Thank you so much. And thank you, Audley, so much. It was an absolute beyond pleasure getting to work with you. And if you would like to experience your own manifestation success story, then I would love to help you do that. More information is in the description box below. And I also would like to thank Phoebe for the inspiration for this video. So why don't we start out with chapter 1, what is manifestation? So manifestation, simply put, is that you get more of what you are, basically how you think, what you believe, and how you act. So if there's something you want or something you want to change, you will get it by aligning to the version of you who already has it. Because if you already had it, you would think, believe, and act like it's completely natural for you to have it. Now, to my knowledge, there are 3 schools of thought when it comes to manifestation. The first of which most of us have heard of, that is the law of attraction. And the law of attraction, basically put, is that you always attract what you focus the most on. Then there's the law of assumption, which states that everything that happens to you is a reflection of your thoughts and your beliefs. Then there's the law of vibration, and that states that everything has a vibrational frequency. And when you emit positive energy, you are on the same frequency as more positive things, and then more positive things become attracted to you. And conversely, when you emit negative energy, you are on the same frequency as negative things, so you continue to attract more negative things. Now, none of the laws are superior to each other. They all work, and they all work together. I don't care what you are hearing out there, all 3 of these work together. For example, if I have a lot of negative thoughts and beliefs, I will mostly focus on negative things, right? When I mostly focus on negative things, I will continue to attract more negative things. Energetically, when I'm focused on negative things, it makes me feel negative, which means I'm now on a lower vibrational frequency. So if I want to change that to be able to get what I want, then I need to first identify my limiting and negative beliefs and change them through methods that we're going to discuss later, so that not only do I reprogram my subconscious mind to believe that I can have what I want, but so that I will also be thinking better, healthier, more helpful thoughts, because you're thinking thoughts all day long anyway, right? So we might as well try to focus on programming our thoughts to work in our favor. And this is going to help me focus more on believing in myself, feeling happier, feeling more confident, which programs my subconscious to look for more things that will help me manifest my goal. Now, overall, I'm feeling better. I'm feeling more confident, right? So I do more things more often that put me in a higher vibrational mood, i.e. higher vibrational frequency, because when I feel good, happy, calm, relaxed, taking care of my energy, being authentic, I think better thoughts, which equals I feel better, which equals I'm on a higher vibrational frequency, and then I'm on the same exact vibration of the things I want. Do you see how all these things work perfectly together? Okay, chapter 2. Do you have to be positive all the time? No, that is not realistic. We are humans here to experience contrast, because without the contrast, we wouldn't appreciate once we finally do manifest and once we do get the things that we want. It's also so that you can appreciate all the different range of emotions that we can feel. They're all there for a purpose. That said, doing things or thinking thoughts that help you feel more positive will, of course, make your life more enjoyable. It helps you think healthier thoughts, and bonus, it puts you on a higher vibrational frequency. But don't worry if you have a tough day or a challenging week. That's not going to ruin your manifestation. Part of our manifestations are sometimes about necessary lessons that we need to learn to become the person who would naturally have the things that we want and be able to maintain and keep them. Just focus on making the bigger picture of what you think about, what you focus the most on, and be in alignment with what you want instead of what you don't want. If you have resistance come up, you don't need to squash it down. This is usually coming from a part of you that's afraid that if you did get what you want, that would be unsafe or that something bad would happen. I've talked about this a lot in other videos. So it's a really good idea to get in touch with that part and figure out what it would need, what that part of you would need in order to feel like it would be safe for what you want to happen, for you to manifest the thing that you want. 3, which method works? There's affirmations, visualization, there's scripting, there's feel it real, there's vision boards, there's gratitude lists, and so many others I'm sure I'm not thinking of right now. The answer is they all work. Manifestation is meant to be an individual process that resonates best and feels best to you. So all the people that you're hearing teaching a specific method for manifestation is teaching it because 1, it's what worked for them, or 2, it's the trendy thing that's going around on social media right now. And in that case, you don't need to listen to that because trends come and go. You just need to understand the basic process and then allow for this to be an individual process where you discover by trying out the different methods which one or ones feels the best, is the most fun to you, and that you end up having the best success with. And most importantly, the method or methods that you feel like you can be the most consistent with, especially when the 3D is 3Ding and it seems like your manifestation isn't happening, which doesn't mean that it isn't happening. Now, I personally teach a combination of techniques because not only do I find that that's what works the best, but it also allows my clients the opportunity to discover which ones they like the best and which ones actually work the best for them. Chapter 4, do you persist or do you let go? Now, this question has to do with our level of attachment and our level of resistance to getting what we want. And the more resistance we have, and this looks like doubt or fear that you're not going to get what you want, the more we start to block our manifestation or slow our manifestations down. Now, that said, yet again, both persistence and letting go both work. It really just depends on you and what helps you to be able to release your resistance the best or the most. So what I have found is that persisting is especially helpful because it helps us reprogram our subconscious mind through repetition. Also, as humans, some of us have a hard time believing that our manifestations can just poof, come to us without effort. So when we use techniques like scripting, visualization, affirmations to help us persist, it helps us feel like we are doing something to help our manifestations come to us. It helps us feel like we are doing something to take action toward getting what we want. It also gives us a way to refocus our energy and attention onto what we want, particularly when we're getting a little bit triggered by circumstances in the 3D. Now, letting go is helpful for when you're feeling yourself obsessing over your manifestation and you're finding it difficult to stop worrying about whether you're going to get your manifestation or not. It can also help you get your mind completely off your manifestation and on to something that gives you more of a feeling of relief or helps you feel more positive, which ultimately helps you release your resistance. Now, some people can just decide what they want to manifest, maybe do a technique or two, and then just completely let go and trust that they're going to manifest it without any resistance. Now, most of us can do that with the things that we really don't care very much about, or if it's something that you perceive to be a very small or insignificant manifestation. But I am not that way, or at least I'm working on it. But I ultimately have not been that way when it comes to things that I perceive are the bigger manifestations. And I imagine that most of you watching this can completely relate to that. So that is why I personally recommend you using both techniques of using persistence and using the technique of letting go. So pick at least one or two techniques that you resonate the most with and create a doable daily practice where you stick to it daily and you don't give up on it until your manifestation shows up. And then also give yourself time to do things that get your mind completely off of your manifestation and onto things that make you feel happy, that make you feel calm, that make you feel relaxed, so that you are decreasing your resistance and you're not and you don't end up chronically obsessing over it. And if you need some help figuring out the right balance for you, then that's exactly what I do in either single sessions or my 30-day transformation coaching package. Chapter 5. This is an important one. What if you don't believe your affirmations or your manifestation method, right? What if you don't believe the things you're saying? What if you don't believe the things that you're visualizing or scripting? Fortunately, you don't have to believe in your affirmations or whatever technique you're using when you're saying them or when you're doing them. It's completely normal to feel like it's hard to believe in it when you're first doing that technique because maybe it's something you've never had before. Maybe it's something you've never experienced before. Maybe you've never seen somebody get the thing that you want without a whole lot of struggle. And yet here you are trying to manifest it. Now, this is why reprogramming your subconscious mind is one of the best things that you can do so that you're essentially programming your subconscious. I feel like it's such a broken record. I say this word so much. You're programming it to believe that the thing that you want has already happened, that you already have it, so that because your subconscious does not like cognitive dissonance, which means that what you see in here doesn't match what's happening out here. Once you get it to believe that, because all it takes is continuing to do your visualization, your affirmations, whatever technique you're using, your subconscious thinks that that's actually happened to you, especially if you do it enough times and you do it consistently. So once that happens, your subconscious is going to go out of its way to try to seek that out for you, to make your manifestation happen for you completely naturally. That said, if you're still struggling with this, one of the first things you can do is do what Abraham Hicks likes to say, and that is to go more general with your subconscious, your self-concept around what you want to manifest. And the other thing that you can do is make sure that the affirmations you're using or whatever technique you're using, that you're doing it in a way or that you're choosing affirmations that maybe feel like they're a little bit more possible for you. And that can help you to release some resistance. So an example of both of these is, let's say that you start out by saying, I want to manifest making $15,000 a month. And you start doing affirmations that say, I make $15,000 a month, but that's creating a lot of resistance for you. You could go more general and start affirming something like, I am attracting more money every month. Or you could change the focus and say something like, I am so grateful for all the money in my life. Because when you focus on gratitude, gratitude helps to expand to more things for you to feel grateful for. So you could just think of all the money that you currently have that's currently coming in, no matter what the amount is, and focus on say that I'm so grateful for that. Or even say, I'm so grateful to money because it allows me to. And then again, that's putting you on the vibration of gratitude. And that can be a really great way to help you release resistance. Or another example is, let's say that you have been creating a visualization practice where you've been visualizing yourself stepping on the scale because you're wanting to lose weight, and you've been visualizing yourself looking down and seeing the number 125 pounds. And let's say that's kicking up a lot of resistance for you because you're thinking, oh my gosh, that's not even possible. All the things I'd have to do, it's not realistic. Then let's change that. So instead, let's make your manifestation be something that's more like you are visualizing yourself talking to a friend or your partner or a loved one, and you are exclaiming to them, oh my gosh, I've dropped a whole pant size or a whole dress size, and it was so easy. That's a great way to get you into that feeling, telling your subconscious that you're moving in that direction, right? But maybe visualizing or affirming or whatever you're choosing to use, that dropping a pant size or a dress size feels more doable, and that way you release your resistance. So you do not have to do this. You can go right at the gate, like I said, with affirming things like I make $15,000 a month. Really make this an individual process, but this is just for those of you who are noticing a lot of resistance coming up and that you're having a hard time believing that it's possible for you. And because of that, it maybe is making you obsess over how's it going to happen? What am I going to have to do to make that happen? And so on. Go a little bit more general or come up with something that feels a little bit more doable to you. And that way, once you start to see things manifest, you build up your belief in your power, in your ability to manifest, and then you can just move forward and increase your goals as you go. And the final chapter, probably one of the most important questions. What if I try manifestation and it doesn't work? How many of you have thought that before? I've thought that before in my past, for sure. But let me tell you something. You are manifesting all the time, every day, all day long, whether you realize it or not, whether you are trying to manifest or not. Because once you understand that whatever thoughts you are thinking the most consistently are programming your subconscious to look for more of the same, which makes you keep feeling the same way, which ultimately means you keep vibrating at the same frequency, you realize that you can either say, screw it, I don't want to have to change my thoughts. I don't want to have to change what I'm focused on. It's too hard. I'll just settle for more of the same life I'm already living. Or you can say, wow, now I totally get why I keep having the same things happen to me over and over. I get now why I keep manifesting the same things. So it might take a little bit of discipline in the beginning to change my thoughts and beliefs, but I'm excited to know that I can change anything I want to, that I can manifest anything I want to. And I'm going to keep practicing this until I find the way that works best for me. Now, sometimes, and I'm happy to do a complete separate video on this if you guys want me to, so let me know in the comments below. Sometimes when you are consistently in the process of manifesting what you want, sometimes your ego is a little bit sneaky and it can try to make you go back to your old way of thinking, to your old beliefs, and to your old way of life, because that's gone on for so long that part of your brain believes that that's safe, even though it sucks, even though you totally want out, right? Sometimes it will do that. So what it'll do is try to temporarily focus on maybe what's not working, to try to get you as hard as it can to focus on that as a way of being like, see, this doesn't work. See what happens when we hope for more? We end up having bad things happen. So if you see that happening, know that that's incredibly normal and it will pass if you stay consistent. I can't tell you how many times I've had this happen in my own personal life and my own experience with manifestation. But every single time that I have persisted and times let myself kind of let it go and get into a frequency that allows me to feel more relaxed or allows me to feel happier, it comes through. It does every single time. The same way that if we think about the way a plant grows, we plant the seed, we water it, maybe we fertilize it, and then we have to let it go and trust that it's going to grow through. We continue to water it, which is we're continuing to think the same positive thoughts toward what we want, that it is happening, that we have it, that we're that kind of person. That's us watering the seed. But if we were to keep, let's say, digging that up and going, where's my plant? How come it hasn't sprouted? Oh, it's not working. We ruin the process, don't we? We completely slow down, if not stop the growth of that plant. And oftentimes manifestation works like this. You don't see what's happening behind the scenes, right? Which is the plant starting to grow and sprout. There's a whole lot of movement under the ground. And there's a whole lot of movement behind the scenes to get you your manifestation. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it isn't happening. And then one day it sprouts up through the ground and then you're able to see it. But with that analogy, that plant is still growing. Doesn't matter if you can't see that it's happening because all we're doing is looking at the surface of the ground. We just have to wait for it to come through. But if you give up and go back, you go back. You go back to your old life. You go back to the same crappy circumstances that you've been trying to get out of. You go back to not having the things that you want. And let me tell you, it is a guarantee that you will get what you want, that your manifestation will work as long as you keep going and you keep trying to learn until you find the ways that work best for you. This really is a practice. You will get there. Your manifestation, it is guaranteed as long as you keep going. And trust that the timing of when your manifestation comes to you is going to be perfect for you. If it hasn't happened yet and you've been on top of your manifestation game, there's a reason for it. Trust that there's a reason you don't have it right here in this moment. Now, if you are thinking negative thoughts about it and constantly questioning it and doubting it and fearing it, then that's the thing that you need to focus on. But if you're on top of this and you're persisting and also taking time to let go and enjoy your life, because that's what you would be doing if you had what you want. That's how you get in the vibrational frequency of having what you want, is act like the relaxed person who knows that they already have it. Because just like everything that you've ever wanted that you have right now, there was a time that it felt all exciting when you thought about getting it, right? But then once you get it, after a little while, it becomes normal, right? Which, I mean, it's good. It's a good point that we kind of all need to remember to be grateful for the things that we have now that we once wanted. But that's eventually the feeling that you're going to have once you get the physical appearance change, like, your body that you want, or the money that you want, or the relationship that you want, whatever it is, eventually that would feel normal and natural. So you do whatever it takes to get you into that feeling more of the time, and you're a match. Just trust that the timing is exactly right for you. And everything that you've manifested up to this point, if you sometimes look back and think, wow, I can totally see why it came to me that way, why all those things had to happen first, and I'm so grateful that things happened that way, you'll totally get why divine timing, in my opinion, is a thing. And why it's so important to just trust. So I sincerely hope that now that has cleared so much about manifestation up for you. If you have more questions that you would like me to clarify about manifestation, leave them in the comments below and I'll make a part 2 or a part 3 if necessary. Maybe this could be a fun series. And if you feel a little confused and you would like my help developing a completely customized process so that you can cut through all the confusing BS and be able to manifest anything you want and be able to see manifestation in a very short period of time, you can sign up for my 30-day transformation coaching package. If you found this video enjoyable, please do me a quick favor and give this video a thumbs up. It only takes a second, but it really does help me a whole lot, because that's how we let YouTube know to get these videos out to more people so that I can help more people exactly like you. You are worthy. You are remarkable. I love you. Thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.